When you first start creating a new page, you start off with a default page layout, which is going to have a title, an image, and a body of text. You can go ahead and edit these to be however you like. You have the caption below the image there, or click to replace the image or delete it. We'll simply delete that, and then to delete other content, you can just drag it over to the trash can in the bottom left corner and let go. So now we have a blank slate. Let's go ahead and make a more advanced site by creating a section. We can go in here, add content, and then click New Page. Now again, you're going to see this is the default template, but this is actually a page within the section here that's its own entity. We cannot edit it on this page. You'll see here now under Page Options, we have a section with one page in it, which if we wanted to, we could click and add content, new page, and add them one at a time, or we can just add a bunch or remove a bunch here at one time. If you set that to 0 web pages, then it gets rid of the section and won't be there anymore. So back here, so we click that to take us to that new page. And here, see, we can actually edit the page content. Again, let's just clear this out. And let's start creating a slideshow here. That's what we're going to do with this page. So let's go back into Page Options, under the background, and pick a background image, which can bring images in from any of the services here, or just upload it from your computer. Select that, and once it finishes uploading, it's going to preview it there on the page in full screen on this page. And if you want, you can check the option here to set as the background for the nav bar too. That way, it does take up the entire page, and it can be hard to read though. You have to be careful about having the right text. So if you have a dark image, you usually want light text. You can also ahead of time blur the image or lighten the image, and it'll make it much more readable if you are going to use text on top of it. Let's go ahead and get rid of this text though. For now, we're just going to have just the image. So what we want to do, so this actually shows up, we need to have something here to make the height. So what we're going to do is add a spacer. And we're going to make the spacer, say, 640 pixels high. So we set the setting there for how many pixels. Click spacer. And then it's going to add this spacer to the page. You see, only when we hover it, that showed it, because normally it's invisible. But if you click it, you have the option here. We can have increase or decrease the size of the spacer, the height, or just click delete. But now we're just going to leave that. And then to publish the page, check published. Now that page is published. Let's go back to the page above. Now we see this is the page that we created the section on. So now this page is no longer full screen. It does take up the full width, but we can then add additional pages to it. So we're going to add content. We can click New Page, and then you'll see we have a new page here at the top of the default template. Now if we drag and drop this, we can put it below. So say if we want to turn this now into some text, let's clear up and get rid of this image, and we're going to add 3-column layout. So let's just say, that text, and then let's add some more text. We're going to make just 3 columns of text here, just to show how it works. There we go. Click Published. And now we can go back to the page above. Oh, we forgot to save it in that position. You always click Save when you're moving things around. There we go. So now we have that in there. Now if we click, again, these are separate pages, so let's click it and we can edit this page. And when we're on this page, again, it's in full screen. Let's make this a little smaller. I think that 640 pixels was a little small. So I'm just going to do that, which that can take a while if you need to make a big adjustment. So we'll just hit delete. Let's add a new spacer. This time, let's make it, what would be good? Let's make it 400 pixels high. Look at it. There we go. Save the page. Okay, so that's a little better there. Not quite as high. So let's click it again, and let's turn this into a slideshow. So click Page Options, and after you have the one background image, now there's the button here to add images and create the slideshow. So if you just add in one or more, it'll turn into a slideshow. So again, let's go back in here, and let's choose a couple more images. Now the ideal width for these images is 1280 pixels, because it is going to be very wide on potentially widescreen monitors. So that's the recommended. The height can be any height. And if you are making a slideshow, it's recommended that the height be the same, and height and the width be the same, or else it's going to kind of transition between them. So if you take care of those ahead of time and just prepare your images to be 1280 pixels wide and whatever height, and just have them consistent between the images, that's usually best. Wait for those to upload. Okay, and now just click Save, and you'll see this is now turned into a slideshow. So when you go to this page, it's actually a slideshow, which will view the public page here. You have the link up after you've published it. You have the View Page link up here, like that, and you'll see this is now a full screen slideshow, which if you want, you can use this. It's kind of up to you. There's a couple of various ways of using it. But also, this page, since it was created inside of a section, if we go back to your home page, then we see it here. And let's go ahead and publish that and view the public version of our home page. And so now we have this layout here on the front page where it's a 3-image slideshow, and then another page below it that's in 3 columns of text. And you'll see this whole design is responsive. So if you're on a tablet, it's going to look something like this, and on a cell phone, it's going to shrink down and look more like this. So it takes care of all that automatically for you. So just be aware with your images, with that responsive design, the actual viewable part of the image is going to change depending on the aspect ratio of the screen. So it takes some design sense to pick the right images, the right aspect ratio, to get to look right in every situation. And that's just it's kind of one of the downsides of responsive design if you look at it in that way, that it's not always going to be the same on every screen. But on the plus side is just the flexibility of it just looking nice on every size device. It'll look different, but always nice, and the text will always be readable. And so, yeah, so that's basically how you would create a more advanced layout here with the slideshow. And then, as you'll see, so we have 2 pages now in this section, which if we go back into page options, we can see that we have a section, 2 pages. They're in full size here. And generally, yeah, you want to leave it on full size to have the actual size images. There's also some block sizes, which if you wanted to create like a grid of photos or some other things, we can get into in another video maybe. But yeah, and then if you want to keep adding additional design elements to this home page here, we just go back into Add Content, and everything except for the pages in the section are going to be below the section. So if we do a new headline, it's going to come down here in the bottom, and we can actually edit here that, but the section is always going to be above it. So these section pages can only be moved around inside of that section. So if we add a new page, it's always going to be here at the top. All we have to do is then drag it down to below these, and we can make this whatever we like. So for this one, if we say we want to have 2 columns, we'll go in here to the layout of that page, select 2 columns, and then we can add some content to it maybe. Again, let's grab a photo, and we'll just add that to the second column. Drag this. Let's see what do we want to do here. Put it like that. There we go. Let's publish that, and then go back to the home page. And again, I forgot to save. When you add new content, if you're typing, it's going to prompt you to save. But if you're just dragging it around, it's not always going to prompt you to save the page when you move around. So that's easy because you're never going to lose anything in that way. And there we have the page, which is starting to get a little bit more going on here. And so you can just do whatever you want with it. You can mix and match these however you like. So hopefully it's enough to get you started. Look for some more videos on how to do other design elements with Simplpost.